Hello, welcome to 7 Minutes with Sheila Singam. Today, I'm honored to have with me a special guest, Freda Liu. Hi Freda.
Hi.
Freda is a radio presenter. She is a brand consultant, PR consultant, a moderator, a speaker, an author, a facilitator, and a fashionista.
And there you go. The 7 minutes is up.
I tell you, Freda is extremely accomplished, and through sheer hard work, she has branded herself to be where she is today. And she goes by the handle The Freda Liu. And I want to know, Freda, how do I get to become The Sheila Singam?
You put THE.
Just put THE in front. So tell us a little bit more, Freda, about how you handle the many roles in your life and how do you excel at them all?
So I think it's definitely an evolution, right? It's an evolution of life where you sort of add on things along the way. Yeah, and I've tried things that, and it doesn't interest me. It doesn't take me for the long haul, but I'm always open to trying out new things, right? In that process, you also learn something new. I was just sharing yesterday with somebody. I had a webinar and we were talking about hustling, right, in life. And I remembered when I was 17, 18 years old, working as a receptionist in Kuching Hilton. And all my life, I've always doing two things at one time. I was also a choral singer with the Sarawak State Choir, right?
Wow.
I knew singing was not going to be my career. I enjoyed, okay, but in that process of learning singing, you learn about breath work. You learn about intonation and enunciation and speaking properly because that's what you do when you sing, and which would have helped me in news reading, right? And even singing in a choir with lots of people, singing to the agong, singing to the governor, state governor, you're on a stage, not by yourself. And then along the way, there were less people on it. But I think everything sort of builds up along the way, and you also find that your interest also changes and grows and all that. What was it they say in the Bible? Multiply your talents.
So, Freda, how did the lockdown affect the way you carry out your different roles?
In work at the station, we had to be split into two groups. Even before the lockdown, we actually had two groups already. So the hours have also shortened because there are less people. And those days when you're at home, you try to do some things. And then when you're in the studio, then obviously you're, paneling and doing stuff and all that. That's work-wise. Emotionally, I was probably angry for 1 or 2 days. And, I just frustrated lah. I can't even go running. I can't even go out there in the sun, that sort of thing. And then you sort of like, okay, I can't control that situation. What can I control? So I took that time to actually do a lot of online courses, right? At first, we all went webinar crazy. What webinar is there? Join. And I'm glad I went for them. If I'm not conducting one, I'm learning. I took this time to be active mentally. You know how I love going for my holidays, right? And I can't even do that. And even when I'm on holiday normally, you're still checking your mail. You're still there's still something in the back of your mind. But right now, I could actually take time off because everybody's in this situation. Right? So I could actually sort of like sit down and just be comfortable in my skin, just like my book, and just say, okay, there's a reason for this. Take this time and reflect on what you want to do with yourself,
Right. So you've added something else to your repertoire of roles, student.
Yes. Well, one thing I did, which was journal therapy, right? I'm doing a course in journal therapy. Very interesting. It's done at your own time and all that. And it's something that I do as I write as well. And there is a process to it. It's not a diary, but they're prompters to get you thinking. And I love how it's actually a very therapeutic session. Because at this time, I said I'm going to write 1,000 words a day. No reward, no TV, no nothing until I finished it. And that was also part of therapy because the book was very much about the lessons I've learned in the last, couple of decades. And that led to doing the journal therapy course.
Actually, I've been meaning to sign up for that. Ayo, we seem to be like signing up for similar courses. No, so now has the partial lifting of the MCO changed anything for you?
Yes, I went for a walk yesterday, today, and tomorrow. So it's nice to be out there, right? I've always loved the outdoors. I've always loved what nature's give us, and and you really stop to smell the roses. The flowers that we have along the way. So I really am appreciative of these things, right? Not so much the fun stuff and all, just simple things that we've got.
For those who don't know, Freda is also a marathon runner. That's why she misses running.
What has really got me thinking, right, is, so obviously everything came to a halt, right? And I don't want to look at it from a money perspective, obviously, right? You get paid to do this kind of work and that money goes towards a holiday, but there are no holidays, so it's okay, it's win-win, right? But it was just the thought of what happens when if something like this should happen again. How do I better prepare myself for the next time? I think there might be a next time. I don't know, right? So in terms of blended learning, and even myself as an entity, what can I offer so that it can be utilized online, right? Because that's the future anyway. And I think this pandemic has just forced us to look at situations a little bit more seriously. Just a lot of thinking about myself and where I want to go from here.
And you found yourself becoming more creative, more innovative.
A lot more creative, a lot of research about what's available online. And there are lots of things online, right? And you find that people have thinking the same way like you and me, on certain things and all that, right? And then you find new tribes, new people who think that way, and you want to grow mentally with people who are also growing with you. So I find that so refreshing.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I found like a well of creativity, innovation inside me that I didn't know existed, not just for myself, but also for other people, So the final question, Freda, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you are an icon to many people out there. Do you have any advice during this time to those who are pursuing your path, in the field of presenting and moderating and public speaking and emceeing and so on?
Try everything, right? Try everything. There are all these platforms right now. It's not about joining this mega station or mega network, that sort of thing. And just learn from that. Nothing happens overnight. When I share the story of me singing with the Sarawak State Choir, that was 30 years ago, right? Learning all those things as a teenager, it all adds up. And so know that, every experience, if you want to look and say, oh, I learned something from that, it all builds up to your portfolio, right? And it builds up your experience. So, but experiment, it's so different, our time. And now, right, what's available to you is amazing, right? So just look out there. It's called Google.
So basically, you're saying we really are the sum of our experiences, and every experience, whether it worked or didn't, there's always a learning to be taken from that, and that shapes the direction in which we go. And you're right, there's so much learning to do, and now I think that's one of the silver linings I found from this COVID-19 cloud that has surrounded us.
Like you and your painting, I love your painting.
Oh my God, thank you.
You see, and it may be a one-off experience, or it may be something that you want to do again, but you learn something.
Every experience counts, yeah. Thank you so much for being with us today. You've been listening to 7 Minutes with Sheila Singam featuring the Freda Liu.